So I'll sing for you. No. All right, here it goes. So remember that that our live sessions, they are only 3 mornings a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So make sure that you are here because that is important for your learning. All right. Awesome. You came into I was killing time. I was killing time until the recording started because I started talking and I wanted to make sure that I got it on recording. Just how important it is that you are here for live lessons. It is mandatory. It is 3 days out of the week instead of a 5-day a week schedule. So make sure, and I know I'm speaking to all of those who are in the class today, which is not fair, but I am doing it on the recording so that anyone watching back does know that this is a mandatory part of class. All right. I love that we have a class Padlet. It is a fun place where we can check out some of our biology artwork, some of our introduction slides where we can get to know each other. Please, just with the Padlet, please just know. Oh, that's so exciting, Pip. Please do just know that I would like to approve anything that you put on there. So before you post links to videos or anything else, I trust you, but it's just my job to be, make sure that I'm monitoring anything that might go on that board. So please just make sure if we put things on there, email them to me first, unless it's like an introduction slide or something I've asked you to stick on there. All right, go ahead and just email those to me so I can preview them. And then we will put those things on there because it's super fun. And Pip has done a great job of organizing it and making us different categories. So thank you so much to Pip for that. Yes, I saw your video. I like it. I just need to make sure, again, I'm sure it's 100% appropriate. I just need to monitor anything and everything that goes up there. So awesome. So this is the link that you can use to get to our classroom Padlet. Again, it's some biology, some fun, but it's all in one place and there are different categories and it's just a fun classroom hangout. So before we go diving into today's goals, all right, we're going to switch and go to a different organic molecules. So we've looked at 2 of the 4 organic molecules that are important for life. Who can tell me the very first one we looked at? Good. The first one is, yes, carbon is the element that is in all of them. Aria, you're 100% right. The first macromolecule we looked at was carbohydrates. And then we had looked at lipids yesterday. So before we move on to proteins today, I would like you to go to this link. I'm putting it in chat right now. Okay. I'm going to also stick it up here on the board. We are going to actually look at a lipid in real life view kind of a deal. So we talked about lipids being important for what? What in our bodies are lipids important for? Each one of our cells. Yes, they are fats and our body needs fats. What are some of the reasons our body needs fats? What is one of the cellular roles of lipids or fats? Good. Energy. Energy. What else? Yes, Dustin. The cell membrane. I just threw my earring right off. There it went. The cell membrane. So we are going to look today at that lipid bilayer, the cell membrane. So if you need a code to plug in, the code, the Nearpod code, is anyone in there? Do you need a code yet? It's going to be LCB. You don't need one? Awesome. So I'm also going to share my screen so that you can see that. All right. So here we go. We're going to go in and look. Now you should have the ability. Do you have the ability to move it on your own screen? I'm hoping so. I'm going to flip that. Yes. Good. So if you are watching, you'll see me do it, but you can actually use your mouse to look at this cell membrane. You can zoom in. Look at that. All right, this is what the cell membrane of every single one of your cells looks like. All right, now if you look at the top part, that looks kind of like a ping pong ball. Who can tell me what part of the lipid that is? Is that the hydrophobic part? Does the head like water? Or is it afraid of water? Sorry, I've got a yawn. What is the top, that head part? Does it like water or is it that hydrophobic part? Good, I love it. You guys are remembering hydrophobic. So the hydrophobic region is actually here in the tail. Okay. So remember, it's because the head is hydrophilic. All right. The head is hydrophilic. It doesn't mind water. All right. So water and solutions can come all the way up to the edge of this membrane. But if they try to get down here and come through the membrane, they just get squeezed or repelled right out. All right. This tail to tail structure right here is so stinking cool, so stinking smart. And we can see that because it does not let any kind of water solutions or anything between it. We talked yesterday about in the cell membrane. All right. If you want to get through, there are actually little doorways or channels. All right. And those channels open right here and go completely through that cell membrane. Otherwise, things would not be able to permeate it.
A bit of a question.
This morning. I apologize. What was that?
It's all right. So I was curious, like, for the hydrophobic part of the, cell membrane, like the lipids and stuff. So basically, if it's water, if anything is like made of water, like a liquid. For example, if I like take my water and just pour it, as long as anything's made of water, like a liquid or something like that, will it like be like, oh no, not water, no matter what it is, like if it's juice or just water, plain water or anything like that?
Right.
Does it
So a
really
lot of our liquid solutions are made of some component of water. All right. That's why we call water the universal solvent. Just like soda pop. Right. What's your favorite kind of pop? Or
just
soda?
pure water?
All right. There is, despite the fact that it is flavored, it might be carbonated, there might be a lot of other things in it. It still is like what we call an aqueous solution or a liquid solution. All right. And other things can come in contact with the surface of this cell membrane. But basically, what we're saying is with this lipid bilayer, is that there are a lot of other modes of protection, but this protects it from liquids, which are probably would penetrate space a lot easier than the solids would, if that makes sense. Okay. So again, this is a lipid bilayer meaning 1, 2. You see how the tail regions touch one another. All right. And this is why we need fats in our bodies, because number one, our cell membranes need them. Is your body like, once you're born, do you stop making cells?
I don't think so.
No, I always do this. Everybody take your forearm or a part of your body and just rub. All right, rubbing. All right, you are shedding cells as we speak. All right, you are shedding cells, so your body is constantly going through a repair mode, and you are constantly making new cells. And to make those new cells and to have those bilayers, you need lipids, you need fats. All right, so if you want to come back and revisit that, I love these models. They're super cool. They bring it to real life. They bring those pictures that sometimes we can just see almost into a touchable dimension being 3D like that. So, yep, if you did shower last night or this morning, like Pip or myself, you definitely would probably have less loose cells, right? That's going to help cleanse those off, but you will still have cells that are going to shed throughout the day or even now. All right. So let's read what in the world is going on in biology today. We are going to shift from lipids and we are going to look at our third group of macromolecules, or what does macro mean? Big.
Macro.
Good. I want everyone to type macro equals big in the chat, or large.
Or Big Chungus trademark.
Yes. There are 66 of you here, so I should see a whole lot of things coming through my chat. Where are you? Macro equals big, right? Awesome. Who would like to read today? I see Pip's hand up. Is there anyone else that would also like to read?
Anyone else?
I don't want anyone else to shy from reading.
If no one else wants to, I will go ahead.
All right, you go ahead this time, Pip. And the rest of you, I don't want you to shy away. We love hearing you.
All right. What atoms are in proteins? Proteins are made up of a string of blank. All amino acids have similar structures. Structure? Is there supposed to be an S at the end of structure, or is it just me?
It is structure.
Similar structure. You're okay, though. In their R group. What is the R group? And which element is present in all amino acids, but not always in fats or carbohydrates? Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for reading for us. Great job, Pip. So today we are going to talk about proteins. Give me a green check if you've ever heard the word protein. All right, protein. All right, lots of us have heard of the word protein. There's more than 28 of us.
Oh no, the slide disappeared.
Hey. All right, lots of us have heard about proteins before. So tell me, what do you think about when you think about protein?
When I think about protein, I immediately assume, like, not only eggs, I also assume, like, meat, like, salmon, chicken, all that. I also think of proteins like a protein shake and something like that.
Good. Go ahead, put it in chat. What's the first thing that comes to mind? Meat, steak.
Yeah, protein helps your muscles grow, They help your muscles in moderation, that is. Like
so
this.
Think to muscles. Think about whey protein shakes every day after you work out. Yeah. Yeah, you're 100% right. People that drink the powder. Yes, I drink protein powders too. I have 4 different flavors here. Well, today we are going to find out why we associate protein with meat and why we associate protein with muscles. Why do we associate protein with muscles? Because protein is important for a lot of things, and maybe that has to do with muscles, and maybe that has to do with a lot more than just muscles. All right. So we have been learning about these organic or carbon compounds. All right. We learned that our carbohydrates are our quick energy. They're super important. All right. They're all those sugars. They're all those oses, right? fructose, glucose, all those things. All right, then we have also our fats that we talked about yesterday, our lipids. Everybody type lipids. I mean, it's just a fun word to say. Everybody just needs to say lipid. All right, there are fats.
Lipids. Lipids.
Good. There are fats. There are oils. Okay. You'll see here in this diagram that both lipids and carbohydrates have 3 of the same base molecules in carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, right? Now, as we move on to nucleic acids and proteins, we're going to start adding different elements to those macromolecules. So today we are going to look at proteins. Oh, wait, are we looking at proteins? I thought we were looking at proteins. Why is this acting like, yeah, sorry, I've got the wrong slide on there. All right. So what are the jobs of proteins in our bodies? Well, muscles are the ones that we all are relating to, right? Why do we relate protein with muscles? Well, it's for a good reason. All right, because our muscles are actually made out of protein. All right, myosin and muscular movements, these are all important and grown. They grow by protein. So who was that was talking about they drink protein after they work out or after they go to the gym?
I think that was Holden that said that.
Is that you, Holden? There's actually you do that too, Carson? All right, so Holden, Carson, anybody else, I do the same thing too. There's actually a lot of studies that for a long time it said if you drink your protein right after you work out, that's when you need it. I did find out that I feel like it doesn't have to be just for your record, for all of those that are drinking after your workout, as long as you're getting enough protein each day, you do not have to drink your protein shake or powder right after you work out. All right. All right. It is a myth. It is busted. All right. You do need it. You do need it. Your muscles cannot be torn and repaired and grow if you don't have enough protein, right? Because it's going to go to some of these other functions first instead of just muscle growth. Okay. So let's go around this very cute little lady here in a blue dress. All right. Let's go around. Let's start here at muscles. We checked this one off. Protein is important for muscles. What else is protein important for? Can somebody read about a couple of these for me? Who wants to take us around this?
I'll look. If no one else will, I will again. But if anyone wants to, just raise your hand. Don't be shy.
Like Miss everybody Jackson being so shy today? Anybody else want to read for us?
Anyone? Hope? I
you read? Can't see, Kai? Can you see the screen at all? Or like
maybe
are you just
refresh,
waking
Kai.
Up?
Maybe refresh, Kai. It's too small. Maybe zoom in, Kai. Man, I'm so lonely now. I'm such a lonely volunteer. Oh well.
Okay, go ahead, Pip.
Okay, so where do I read? Oh, Kai might try to read. But Kai, you may zoom in since, yeah.
I would love that. Yeah, let's have Kai go ahead and read. Okay. If you can zoom, you can use that plus sign in your right-hand corner. If I do that, does that help? Did I just make it bigger for everybody?
We have an option to zoom in, so don't worry. We can have the option to zoom in.
That's okay, Hope. All right, go for it, Kai.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. A protein called alpha-keratin forms your hair and fingernails and also is the major component of feathers, wool, claws, scales, horns, and hooves. Muscle proteins called actin and myosin enable a muscular movement from blinking to breathing to rolling blading. Circular messages. Receptor proteins stud the outside of your cells and transmit signals to partners proteins on the inside of the cells. Um, Antibodies. Antibodies are proteins that help defend your body against a foreign invader such as bacteria and viruses. Blood, the hemoglobin protein, carries oxygen in your blood in every part of your body. Brain and nerves, ion channel proteins control brain signaling by allowing small molecules into and out of the nerve cells. Enzymes in your saliva, stomach, and small intestines are proteins that help you digest food. Circular construction workers, huge clusters of proteins form molecular machines that do your cell's heavy work, such as copying genes during cell division and making new proteins.
That was awesome, Kai. And that was so much, and so many hard words. I'm so proud of you. Good job. Thank you. It's so much more interesting to hear other people talk than just Mrs. Rittenhouse. So I appreciate you, Kai. So this would be one of those note slides that I personally, if I were sitting there in the student perspective, I would take a screenshot or snip this right here. Okay. This is an important slide because it reminds you of the different jobs of proteins in our cells. All right. All of those things are jobs that we need proteins for. So if you are not eating meat, what are some things that you can eat that still have protein in them? All right. Because we also have what? Vegetarians. Yes, beans, peanuts, eggs, like edamame. I know, I think some vegetarians are strict to eggs or not eggs, but I think everybody has differences. What other things can we have? Lots of beans, chickpeas. Good. Absolutely. Yes, milk has some protein in it. And not just milk, you could have like an almond milk, cashew milk, oat milk, edamame. Has anyone had edamame before? Greek yogurt. Edamame is it's like a soybean, I believe. Yep. You can eat them like cooked, or a lot of times they will dry them out.
I've never heard of it before.
It's like a crunchy version. It's a healthy protein snack. You have to Google it or put it
Just one
on
more
your
thing to
grocery
add.
list from your parents, and they'll be like, "Who put edamame on this list?"
So, I remember in my health class last year on a second semester, I know for a fact that eggs are like the epitome of protein. And when I think of eggs, this is what I think of.
Eggs, E-double-G-S eggs.
That's what I think of. And that's why eggs are supreme in protein. Just saying.
All right. Thanks, Pip. Eggs are supreme. Eggs are a great way to get both protein and fat into your diet. We talked about fats yesterday as far as lipids. And we can use an egg for protein too, because they are a really good protein source. All right. So I need you to know this. Proteins are made up of amino acids. Proteins are made up of amino acids. Like, this is one thing you need to remember at the end of the day. Proteins equal amino acids. All right, amino acids are macromolecules, all right, that are attached to one another to make proteins specific. All right. So what happens is you start with a single hydrogen atom. All right, here's our hydrogen atom. And then you get an amino group. So here's our amino group. You have an R group and a carboxyl. I don't need you to know any more of these other than proteins are made up of what? Amino acids. Amino acids. Everybody type that. Proteins are made up of what, class? We don't want to leave today if you don't know what proteins are made of. Yes, they are made of
Nero cut
AA.
me off again. Proteins are made of amino acids. And Nero, if you cut me off while I'm speaking, you know what's coming.
So proteins, awesome, are made up of amino acids. Now, there is what we call this R group. This R group is kind of like a name tag. You know what a name tag is? Like a little sticky thing you can put on your... The R group is like a name tag. It kind of goes back to, remember that whole thing, structure equals what? Yes. Structure equals function. So yesterday we talked about how the unique shape of the lipid or the fat makes it hydrophilic, which means it's fine with water on one end, and hydrophobic, afraid of water on the other end, which makes it such a perfect tool for that cell membrane. All right. However, we've got something different when it comes to proteins. I want you to, and we'll do this later. I have this set of beads. All right. These are some beads I have sitting around my house. When you make a bracelet or thread beads, you put on each bead one at a time, right? So that is exactly how we build proteins. It looks just like one of these sets of beads, and they build on, you add one amino acid at a time. A protein is made of a chain of amino acids. What happens when we get all the amino acids on, and we'll go into this in another unit, is that it knots at the end. And then, have you ever taken a rubber band? Actually, I might have one in my drawer right here. All right. I'm going to have to break it. Okay. It's going to be like a string of beads. So we'll pretend there's beads on it. And then it's going to start to twist. Do you see it twisting? Yep. What happens if I just keep twisting? Uh-oh, look what's happening. Can you see that? It's knotting up.
It's gonna knot up.
It's going to knot up. And when our proteins made of different amino acids twist and knot up like that, based on they form a certain shape. And the shape of that protein equals its what? Function. Yep, you are on it, right? Each one of them will fold over differently based on the sequence of the amino acids. However, if the amino acid chain is the same for this strand as it is for the next, when they twist and fold over, they will go into the same shape. All right. It's kind of like maybe origami, right? If you would fold up different shapes of origami, you would have different types of proteins, and we identify them as scientists and as biologists based on what the shape of them are. We're like, oh, that protein, oh yeah, it's important for muscles. Or, oh yeah, the shape of that protein, oh yeah, we need that for our blood or for our antibodies. So we use proteins for so many different things, but proteins are made out of what, class? AA.
Acids, amino acids.
Good. Proteins are made out of amino acids, and they each have a different shape, which gives them a particular what?
A particular function.
Good. A particular function. All right. This is exactly what I was trying to show you with those beads. All right. These are each different amino acids that get put together. And just like you might get a bracelet kit or something in the mail that's going to tell you how to string something together, there are actual instructions for your cell, and you get it. It's kind of like a recipe card. Your cell gets this recipe card and it reads it and it strings these amino acids together. And I won't go into any more details because that is for a whole nother unit. We're going to spend a whole part of another unit just learning about what we call protein synthesis. Who knows what synthesis means? Anybody? Ooh, yes. Together. Put together. To make. All right. Synthesis means to make or to form. Good. Protein synthesis is going to be to make. And we're going to learn all about how we get where we get the recipe for these amino acids and proteins. When do we get them? Where do we get them? How do we put them together? If you have any questions about that, all right, we're going to go over all of that in another unit. But for this unit, I want you to know that proteins are important for our muscles, for our cells, for our blood, for our hair, for our bones. Okay. And that proteins are made of what?
Amino acids.
Proteins are made, yes, of amino acids. Awesome. So now we're going to take a couple minutes. I want you to tell me what you know. Okay. So we've spent the last 2 weeks so far going over our organic molecules. What element has to be in it if it's organic? What element needs to be in here? These molecules. Yes. You guys are rock stars. Carbon. All right. So now I want you to all take over the board. I want you to take over the board and I want you to put in here what you know about the carbohydrates. What have we gone over that's important? What's a lipid? What's a protein? What have I taught you that we need to know about these different macromolecules? I want you guys just to type on it. You can do a drawing. If somebody wants to draw a carbon atom up here in this space, that would be awesome. Let's do it. I love what I'm seeing. These are all right. Proteins, they are beans. They do help our muscles, our blood. Proteins equal amino acids. Good. Does somebody want to put something like structure equals function or shape equals function under proteins for me? Good. Carbohydrates are sugar. All those saccharides, right? All those oses. Saccharides are sugars. Who remembers the most important OS to living things? Is it sucrose, glucose, fructose? Yes. Stick that on the board too. You guys are awesome. Glucose, you're right. Carbohydrates are sugar. They give us energy. We need that energy to do legit everything. And glucose is our OS that we need at the end for all of our things. Lipids are fats. Somebody want to draw a picture of a lipid right here? They have a hydrophobic end, a hydrophilic end. What are lipids important for? What are they important for? Why do we need them? Why do we need lipids? Yes. Dustin is on fire today. You mind sticking that up there? Cell membranes. You need them for cell membranes. They're also backup what? Backup what? Backup energy, right? They're energy sources. Mila, I printed out your journal prompts for you yesterday. Remember, I printed those out for you. I had a little face beside me asking me a question. This is awesome. This is so stinking awesome because this is a review and this is telling you everything that you need to know basically for the last 2 weeks in one picture, right? We're talking about organic molecules. How do elements like carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, how do they come together and make a molecule? How do we make molecules? Yes, Arya. Right? Our elements come together and form bonds. Yes, Dustin, they make covalent bonds.
I'm sorry, bonds.
Covalent bonds are nice bonds. They're the strongest bonds, right? Because they're unselfish. They share equally their outer electrons. What's the other type of bond we have? Yes, Olivia.
We have ionic
Ionic
bonds
bonds.
and covalent ones. And we also have hydrogen.
We do have hydrogen. Good. Ireland was right on that. Hydrogen. Perfect. These are all ways that our molecules are going to bond to make these organic molecules or these macromolecules, these large molecules that are they alive? Are molecules living? Are these molecules living? Good. No, they aren't. They're not alive. So why are we talking about them? Because biology is the study of life. Why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about these non-living molecules? Good. Good. You're absolutely right, Talia. We need these 4 macromolecules specifically to survive and live and thrive. They make us function. Without carbohydrates and lipids and proteins, you would not be alive. You would not exist. They make up our cellular components, our cellular functions, and we could not do life without them. You all get a gold star today. I wish I could give you a prize. But this what we did today on this very last slide makes me very happy and feel very confident in what you guys are doing as a class. And this is why it's important to be here. Because I guarantee if you walk through the class and read through the content, you would not be able to do this by yourself at the end of it without notes. Do you agree? Yes, 1000%. So how do we feel about proteins today? What atoms are proteins? Proteins are made out of a string of what?
Amino acids.
Good. Amino acids, use your pointers on the board. Tell me, do you think we got this done today? We talked about those R groups and how those R groups kind of give them a name tag. And we talked about a little bit about, and because this is probably the least important, which element is present in all amino acids, but not in carbohydrates. And we looked at that clear up here, okay? So our proteins have nitrogen, all right? That might be a quiz question. Proteins have nitrogen that lipids and carbohydrates do not have, all right? So most of us feel pretty good. We're circling yes. We're pointing yes. We have one more organic molecule left. So instead of not doing class tomorrow, I say we come back here. Let's figure out our last one. Our last one is nucleic acids, okay? And then if we are ahead of schedule, maybe we'll take off a day once next week or have a fun review game day next week, okay? But no quizzes. Do you like that? Do a Kahoot? That could be fun. I'm hearing it for the no quizzes. Awesome. All right, look at me. Look at me right here. One last thing. Ready? I am so proud of you. You guys are doing a great job, doing a fantastic job. You are your biology rock stars. I don't care what anybody else tells you. Okay. Have a wonderful Tuesday. I am so thankful for you. Go do great things today. Okay. And I will see you all tomorrow morning. Bye, guys.